Hi everyone, it is Divya. Welcome back to Sex and the Diversity. I wanted to do another solo episode because a lot of people reached out to me and told me that they enjoyed my past storytelling solo episode. So I wanted to share another story, and I chose this story to share for two reasons. The first reason was that I think it's a really funny story. The second reason is that a lot of times people see content creators, especially sexy content creators, and they don't see the day-to-day life of that creator. And I'm a regular person just like everyone else, and I have my ups and downs. And this story is hard for me to share because I think it was really embarrassing, but I'm going to share anyway, just in the spirit of being open. And this story is my most embarrassing date that I ever been on, so I hope you enjoy. So just to set the scene, and this was a date with a previous guy that I was dating. We went on a few dates by this point, so we were getting comfortable with each other, and we decided to go on a vacation together. This is our first romantic trip that we went on. I was really excited. We wanted to choose somewhere that was like romantic, fun, sexy, so we can have a lot of one-on-one bonding time. And it was, if you can imagine, that was the mood, and I was, again, really excited, and so was he. So I made sure to pack a lot of cute outfits, sexy clothes. We were going to a tropical place, so I wanted to make sure I had a lot of bikinis and cute dresses. And, you know, when you were in a tropical island, it's almost like a fantasy world. You want to dress like you're a fantasy nymph. At least that was the vibe that I was going for. So everything's all ready. And, it was for 5 days. So the first 3 days was really nothing out of the ordinary happened. It was really relaxing. There was the pool, there was beach. And so we were able to enjoy both those locations. And like I said, I packed all the different swimsuits. I got to wear all my different suits. And it was a really romantic place. It was an all-inclusive resort. So it had all you can drink, all you can eat. It was very romantic. They had restaurants that were on the beach, right on the water, and they had, live music, jazz band. So the whole entire vacation was super romantic, super intimate. We were getting really close. And then, we were doing that for a few days, but I was starting to get a little restless. I mean, there's only so much relaxation that I can take, and I'm an active person. I like doing activities. So I was thinking, we're by the water. Why don't we do water sports? Like, I love water sports. Anything, jet skiing, scuba diving, snorkeling, anything. I'm down. I'm very adventurous. So at the resort, there's a beach section, and there is a person that goes and walks along the beach and offers to take you on excursions. And so there was one person, and the excursion guide was showing all the different things that we could do. And the thing that really looked good to me was this scuba diving excursion where they take you to the middle of the ocean, and you can go scuba diving, and also you can go on a mechanical, almost like a scooter that goes to the bottom of the ocean, and you can drive around and you can really see the bottom of the ocean that way. And I thought, that's awesome. I love the ocean. I love being anywhere near the ocean, and I wanted to do something active and see the fish and see the corals. It was just perfect. So I really wanted to do that. So we signed up for that, and this excursion was going to happen the next day. So we had an evening to still relax and to go out, and we had to get ready for the next day excursion. So we paid, and we were supposed to meet the tour guide the next day at the beach, and he would take us to the excursion. So I was really excited, and I had that to look forward to, but there was dinner coming up for that day, so we were choosing a place to go to dinner. And at this resort, they had all these different restaurants that you could choose to go to, and each restaurant had a different cuisine. So there was one restaurant that had Italian food, there was another restaurant that had, French food, there was another that did the local food, and every night we went to a different restaurant to try the different foods there. So that particular night, I noticed that there was an Asian restaurant, and it specialized in Japanese cuisine. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh, we're near the ocean. We're somewhere tropical. I bet they have really fresh sushi, and this is going to be amazing. It's going to be delicious. And I really wanted to go there. And the guy was telling me, like, why don't you think a little bit more about it? Like, are you sure you want to go there? I mean, this is a place, it's in a tropical island, and usually for sushi to be good, you need to have like a Japanese chef, and they probably have local chefs, and you're not going to get really good quality sushi. But I was sort of like headstrong. I was like, I really think though there's going to be good sushi. We should just check it out. There's no harm. And he was nice, and he was like, okay, if that's what you want, like, we'll go there, but are you sure? Like, it's probably not going to be as good as you're imagining. And in my mind, I was like, no, I want to go. So we decided to go there. And so I'm really excited. We both arrive at the restaurant. They seat us down. And the first thing that I noticed, which was weird, was they didn't have any sushi on the menu. And I asked the waiter, I was like, well, I thought this was a Japanese sushi place. Like, why is there any sushi on the menu? And the guy said, oh, no, we don't make any sushi to order. It's already prepared, and we kind of we put it in the middle of the room, like buffet style. And I'm thinking, okay, already the quality, I'm not so sure how good the quality is going to be. But, I was open-minded, so I decided to go and try the sushi and all the, and see how it was. And let me tell you, it was the worst sushi I've ever had in my life. That there's like, let's say that there's grocery store level sushi in the middle, and then there's like, let's just imagine gas station sushi, which is right underneath it, like a premium gas station. This was below that. So this was just a horrible quality sushi. Like, it tasted stale. And they kept on putting like a ton of cream cheese and rice. And usually when they do that, it's because the fish isn't fresh. So I knew right then and there, like, this sushi is going to be terrible. But I decided to eat it anyway because I was like, when I'm here, let me just try it. And plus I didn't want to prove that, the guy was right. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to eat this. And I ate this, and immediately it was just tasting bad. It just tasted, off. But I still forced myself, and the night ended. We went back to the room, and we fell asleep. The next day I woke up, and immediately my stomach was, feeling off. It was having kind of bad pain, and it just felt like very funny. And I immediately knew what was going to happen. So I ran to the bathroom, and then pretty much all of yesterday, like last night's dinner, just passed through me. When I say it passed through me, it just like flowed through me like water. It was just like whoosh, and it was all like pretty much gone. My stomach felt better, but I thought to myself, oh shit, like I'm gonna have stomach issues. Like, everything is gonna be off today. Like, I probably shouldn't eat, shouldn't do anything. But I did feel better when I used the bathroom. And so after that was finished, I went back, and I was hoping that the guy didn't hear anything, because the bathroom was like attached to the room, of course. But he slept through it. he woke up and he wanted to eat something for breakfast, and I decided to join him. And like a dumbass, without even thinking about what happened the night before and that my stomach's still sensitive, I also had a breakfast with him, and I didn't eat a lot. Like, I think I ate some toast and I had some eggs, nothing crazy, but I wasn't really aware and remembering the fact that I had, just my stomach was off and I probably shouldn't be eating so much. So it was a beautiful day. It was perfect to go snorkeling. I was really looking forward to snorkeling. So we were going to go later on in the day at 11 a.m. So breakfast was finished and I joined him, and, we make sure to like use the restroom beforehand, and I thought it was good, and we are going on this excursion now, and I'm super excited. So the way that it worked was we had to meet the tour guide, and he took us to, like the tour house where they arrange the beginning of the trip. And when we went to that place, there's a bathroom there, and he was like, okay, make sure to use the bathroom here because there is no bathroom anywhere else, and this is the final stop before we can use any restrooms. And so at that point I didn't have to go, and the guy I was with, he went and he told me, he's like, are you sure, we're gonna be out in the ocean, if you should probably go. And I'm like, I don't need to go, I'm fine, like I could take care of myself, I'm fine. So anyways, we finish, and then the way it worked out is that they have a lot of other people joining us from different hotels and different resorts, and so there's a bus ride of maybe 30 people. They take us on a bus, and then they take us onto a boat near the ocean, and then we have to board the boat. And this boat is going to take us to the middle of the ocean. So where there's a flat platform, and at that flat platform, that's where we can scuba dive and we can go to the bottom of the ocean and things like that. So I get on the boat, and with everybody else, there's 30 people. They take us to the middle of the ocean where there's a flat board. And during that time, they say, okay, we're going to do a little demo. We're going to teach you how to scuba dive. And then we're going to take you to the bottom of the ocean on this scooter jet things. And at that point, I was, really looking forward to and excited to it. I was sitting down. They were giving the demo of how to breathe. Everything was great. And then all of a sudden, I felt it. That gurgling of my stomach. And I just realized right then, I was like, oh shit. And I thought I could ignore it. I was like, oh, maybe if I ignore it, it'll go away. I was wrong. It did not go away. And it just kept on getting worse and worse. Like, my stomach was like cramping and hurting and it was gurgling. And I was like, oh shit, I have to go. I have to use the bathroom. And at that point, I didn't know what I had to do, but I just had to I had to use the bathroom. And keep in mind, we're on this platform in the middle of the ocean, no bathroom in sight. We're far out. In order to leave this platform, you have to take a boat back and go back. So there's no way. And that boat that originally took us to the platform, that left. So I was like, fuck, there's nowhere for me to go. I have to go in the ocean. And at this point, there's 30 people there, and I had to be, I didn't want to be draw attention to myself and to be embarrassed. So I immediately grabbed the snorkeling, set, and I tell the guy, I was like, listen, I think this is making me a little motion sick. I'm gonna have to go to in the ocean. And he has no idea. So he's like, oh great, let's go snorkeling together. So he joins me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to be alone. But he joins me and he goes into the ocean with me, and he is trying to teach me how to snorkel, and he wants to have this romantic, playful time. And I'm like, fuck, I need to just be alone. I was like, fuck, I just need to be alone. Let me be alone. And yeah, so I ask him to, like, I'm like, oh, let me just, snorkel go around, but he's following me and he's trying to like teach me how to snorkel. And I'm like, I think I just like yelled at him. I was just like, I need alone time. We were together like the whole entire time. I need to be by myself. And he was like, oh, okay, fine. He was probably like wondering, why is she like, yelling at me? So he goes away. And so I have to keep in mind, I have these two things near me. I have this guy, right, that I'm on this date with on this romantic vacation. And then, to the other side of me, I have a whole platform of like 28 people that have come here. They're strangers. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'm just like paddling in the ocean, trying to find a spot that's like somewhat private. And at this point, I didn't know what I had to do. I just had to go I had to go. So I was in the ocean and I just like pulled down my bikini bottoms and I'm just thinking, what do I have to do? And basically I had diarrhea and it would just like, again, I just like a shit in the ocean, which is very embarrassing to admit, but there was no other place. And I immediately feel better, but I'm like crossing my fingers and I'm praying. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like I hope that, if it goes to the bottom of the ocean, because I was thinking, what happens if it's like a big solid poop and it just like floats to the top and everyone sees and it's still in the ocean where other people could like bump into it? How embarrassing would that be? But fortunately, I guess I went a little further away and I went to the bottom of the ocean and I was completely fine. I felt fine after. And then I just sort of swim and I join everyone and I try to like clean up as best as I could, but I was in the ocean and so it wasn't that big of a deal. And I get back onto the boat and then I relax a little bit and and then at that point the guy joins me on the boat and he was like, are you okay? Like you seemed a little off, like what's the matter? And I said like, oh, I'm just not feeling well. And he's like, oh, did you have to throw up because you said you were feeling like a little motion sickness? And I was like, no, I didn't have to throw up. And I kind of wanted him to drop it. And then he just like looks at me. And at that moment, he knew exactly what went on. He could tell. And he just started laughing. Like he just started bursting out laughing. And he was like, oh my God, you just took a dump in the ocean, didn't you? And then he was like laughing and I wanted to die. Like I was so embarrassed. Like it was just the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me on a date. I had to like take a dump in public, not only in front of this guy near me, I also had a boat full of 30 people, to the other side of me. And I had to go. But yeah, well, anyways, now the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me. And I hope you enjoyed this story. And please, comment if you want to hear more stories, if you like this. And I will see you all soon. All right, thanks.